Oh, hello, this is Tak Cho from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Both my wife and I love salmon. We love the flavor, but more importantly, salmon provide excellent health value. Salmon is rich in an essential fatty acid known as omega-3 fatty acid, which is excellent for the brain as well as the peripheral nervous system. We eat salmon at least once or sometimes twice a week. We use salmon mainly as a condiment rather than as the main ingredients of a dish. We usually get 1 pound of salmon that has never been frozen, and we split it into 2 meals. We always cook our salmon with vegetables. This not only makes our salmon dishes affordable, it also makes it interesting. I have been working on the best way to stir-fry salmon and to develop a template that I can use it with easy modifications and adjustments. There are many ways to cook salmon: baking, grilling, pan frying, or even steaming. After trying different methods, I discovered that pan frying is probably the best, and also with pan frying, I can cook the salmon in the wok. Like most people would do, I start out to pan fry the salmon in a large piece. I cut them in half so that it will fit my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. The Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok has a large flat bottom surface area, which measures almost 9 inches across. This makes the wok a flexible cooking utensil because I can use it as a small frying pan. I discovered there are several disadvantages to this cooking method. First, the cooking time tends to be long, and secondly, because of the thickness of the salmon are not even, the center part of the salmon tends to be less cooked than the edge of the salmon. So I modified the cooking method by cut the salmon into smaller pieces, and this has some distinct advantages. First of all is that it cooks faster, and secondly, it cooks more evenly. The cooking time is significantly reduced by as much as 50%. I have experimented with different sizes of the salmon pieces, and I discovered that 1 inch by 2 inch is probably the best size. I'm able to cook all the salmon evenly, and also I find that it is small enough that I can stir fry it, and it is large enough that it will not break apart. I start by pan frying the salmon. I put the salmon with skin side down. This will allow me to cook the skin and char it at the same time. Most people do not like the salmon skin because beneath the skin there is a layer of fat. Frying the skin drives out the fat, which gives it a crispy texture, and when it becomes char, it has a wonderful flavor. We normally do not like salmon skin, but when it is being cooked this way, we actually prefer the salmon skin as the best part of the salmon. Having the wok well seasoned is important to achieve this outcome. Before the cooking session, I season my stainless steel wok with my smart seasoning method to create a non-stick cooked surface. This method works for any type of wok surface that could be seasoned. You can take a look at this video and learn more about this method. When I first start to cook with this method, I will cook the salmon first, and then I will set them aside, and then I will cook the vegetable and combine them together. And when I noticed that there are extra space in the wok, I realized that I could cook the vegetable together with the salmon, at least those vegetables that takes a little bit of time to cook. This includes vegetables such as eggplant, Brussels sprout, zucchini, and cauliflowers. I can add the vegetable in the order based on the amount of time I want to cook them. Still, I'm going to give the salmon a little bit of a head start. I add a vegetable after the salmon has been fried for about 1 minute. I use a pair of long-handled tongs to add the vegetable, and then I use the tongs to stir-fry them as well. I check on the salmon periodically and to make sure that the skin of the salmon is properly fried and nicely charred. Both my wife and I really like the skin being charred, but you might like it slightly differently. And by now the salmon is about 50% cooked. You can actually watch the progress of the cooking because the color of the salmon would turn from orange to pink. Next, I use a pair of tongs to take the salmon pieces and lay them on the side. This will greatly facilitate the speed of cooking. This usually takes only about 10 to 15 seconds. The goal is to seal the flesh of the salmon so that when I stir fry it, it will not fall apart. I continue to stir fry the vegetables to make sure that they do not get burned. If it looks like there are not enough oil, I will add a little bit more from my oil squeeze bottle. I estimated by now the food ingredients of both the salmon as well as the vegetables in the wok is probably about 80% cooked. So now I add the mushroom to finish the cooking process. The reason that I add the mushroom later because I do not want the mushroom to be overcooked. And by adding the ingredients in different orders as you cook, it allows you to have much better control of the texture of the ingredients. I switched to the wok spatula to stir fry the contents, but I did it very carefully because I do not want to break up the salmon pieces. I flavored the dish with a combination of 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 1 tablespoon of hoisin sauce, and 1 tablespoon of the Panda Express orange sauce. Using this approach, by stir-frying everything together, I'm able to give the salmon the flavor that would not be possible if I have cooked the salmon separately from the vegetables. The final 2 ingredients I'm going to add to this dish is some colored bell pepper as well as some cherry tomatoes. I add them toward the end because I want them to be only very lightly cooked. The final step is to create a light sauce. Also, to remove anything that might have stuck and burned to the bottom surface of the wok, I'm going to clean them and return the flavor back to the dish. I'm going to look for area on the surface of the wok that have stuff burned to it, and I use my water squeeze bottle and just deposit a very small amount of water right over it. As you notice that the water turned into steam right away, and then I use my wok spatula to detach them. I call this method spot cleaning because you clean as you cook, but this method is also frequently known as deglazing. The total cook time of this dish is a little bit over 7 minutes, which is not bad at all for a complex dish like this. This dish encompasses all the 4 attributes of my fast cooking system, which is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. This dish is based on a template that I have developed for cooking salmon dishes. And using this template, I was able to create many different versions of this dish. The goal of my fast cooking system is to make home cooking practical so that you can cook almost anything you want based on what you have available on hand, as well as what you would like to have that evening without the use of recipes. A template is like a basic blueprint from which you can build variations, encourage you to experiment, to be creative and innovative. Without any question, recipe is critical in cooking, and it provides instructions, particularly when you try to learn a new dish. But once you have mastered a recipe, you want to convert it into a template so you can execute it with spontaneity and intuition. And only then you will find home cooking to be practical and pleasurable and make home cooking to be part of your daily routines. I used to find home cooking to be a chore, something that I rather not do, particularly after I have a long day at work. But now every time when I walk into the kitchen, I feel a sense of energy. And now it is like play, because I'm looking forward to see what I'm going to discover as well what I'm going to create. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine using my fast cooking system. If you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.